Okay, what we are speaking about today is some of the steps we want to take after a 6 hour Hitbodedut. We want to emphasize the tremendous power of a 6 hour Hitbodedut, that it's life-changing and it's transformational. It's something that I recommend we do, if not monthly, so then every 3 months or so, 4 times a year, or at least twice a year. It's something that is transformational, life-changing on every level. And so one of the things that we want to do is we want to notice how Hitbodedut, any Hitbodedut, but especially a 6 hour Hitbodedut, the power of it is in the increase of that, the increase of awareness of ourselves, knowing Hashem, knowing our true essence. That's what comes through the Hitbodedut. It's all about increasing that awareness, because when we increase that awareness in the presence of Hashem, in our connection to Hashem, so then that allows for the complete healing of those issues. The awareness itself is the beginning of all healing. Okay, the increase of that is the beginning of all healing. And so what we want to do is we want to pay attention how, after you've had this 6 hour Hitbodedut, which is a life-changing transformational experience, you want to ask yourself the following questions in your journal. So you want to journal about the 3 greatest takeaways. Okay, this is all about becoming clear about the takeaways we've gotten through these 6 hours. Because some of the things that we might want to know after a 6 hour Hitbodedut is how to apply the insights gained during the session, during the 6 hour experience, into our lives. We might also want to know how to turn this practice into a daily habit, because we've had such a delicious experience in these 6 hours, and we see and we can feel and know how it's life-changing. We might ask ourselves, okay, well, that was fantastic, but I want to experience more of this. I want to experience more of this every day. How can I do that? And finally, how can we get to a point where we are doing 6 hour Hitbodedut sessions more often? Okay, so these are the things we want to speak about. So the recommended journaling prompts after this Hitbodedut session: first of all, what are the 3 greatest takeaways from this experience? Remember, you don't have to force yourself to answer all of these questions. Just notice what comes up inside of you now in response to these questions. And just be present with the questions, because the questions themselves, as you're present with them, will bring to awareness their answers. Another question is, what are the 3 greatest insights or breakthroughs or paradigm shifts that I've gained through this 6 hour experience? The 3 greatest insights or breakthroughs or paradigm shifts. Another way of asking this same question, remember, I'm asking you basically some very similar question in different forms, because sometimes just asking the same type of question in different words allows your subconscious mind to relax and bring up the answers. So another way of saying that is, what are the 3 greatest epiphanies or deeper recognitions that you can point to having coming out of this 6 hours now? And so these questions are wonderful to write down for yourself for the next time you do a Hitbodedut or a 6 hour Hitbodedut. And it's wonderful for you to just pay attention to see what comes up from your subconscious, what comes up in your heart, what do you feel inside in response to these questions. And these questions will help solidify the key takeaways and insights gained during the session. So that's the first part. Okay, it's about just reviewing, going back through my Hitbodedut and seeing, okay, what are the things that come clear through all of this? What are the epiphanies? Maybe I now understand some element or some aspect or some approach to life in a different way. And now I'm emphasizing that much more, right? Now this is going to be my path going forward. I'm going to walk this path. So what might that be? What are those epiphanies? What are those insights? What is that clarity? Okay. The next question is, meaning the next set of questions, is all about increasing our awareness regarding we want to identify the number one challenge in our lives. What is the number one challenge in your life right now? And what would be the greatest positive change that if you were able to overcome that challenge, if you were able to just dissolve that challenge, if you were able to have that number one challenge completely healed, completely perfected, completely vanish in the poof, a sudden just poof. Again, that would cause the greatest change in your life, the greatest positive impact. What would that be? Okay, this is also very, very important. It could be that we might have become more clear about what that element is through our 6 hours of Hitbodedut. And so now is the time to point that out for ourselves. Now is the time to put it on paper. Now is the time for us to choose and decide about it. And that leads us to the third journaling question. The third journaling question here, the third set of questions that you want to ask yourself are questions that will bring to your awareness all of the different ways that you can apply some of the insights and some of the takeaways from your Hitbodedut session to learn a new way of approaching those challenges. And we may not know the exact solution to those challenges, but at least by beginning to allow ourselves to be open to different possibilities, we can start to see things from a different perspective. Now, that's all that is needed sometimes, to be thinking outside of the box, outside of the prison we've been holding ourselves in up until now. And now we can just decide to stop doing that, drop it, by just asking ourselves, what might be 10 ways of applying the insights that I just wrote down, that I just pointed out, the insights from this 6-hour Hitbodedut. What might be 10 ways that I can apply that to this number one challenge? Okay. And so at this point, we might also want to ask ourselves, how can we turn Hitbodedut into a daily practice? So this was a really wonderful experience. We want to have this experience every day. Why not? So to turn Hitbodedut into a daily practice, we can start with a daily amount of time, deciding for ourselves about a daily amount of time, choosing that daily amount of time that we feel comfortable doing for Hitbodedut every day, even if it's only just 1 minute. Okay, in Living Monotherapy, we encourage 1 minute version of everything. We encourage that in any spiritual practice, whether it's Hitbodedut or journaling, whatever it is that we are doing towards our goals, always find what is the 1 minute version or what is the baby step version of this. And so the same thing can be applied to Hitbodedut. What is the 1 minute version of Hitbodedut? For me, it doesn't have to be 1 minute. It could be, for me, that's 5 minutes. But what's the baby step that I can feel comfortable doing every day? And begin by doing that every day. And obviously, if it feels uncomfortable to be doing it every day, if there's tension around that or stress, then that's not your baby step version yet. You'll keep on decreasing it until you find your baby step version. And from there on, it just increases exponentially. Because this is the secret. The secret is that when you are able to look at a long meditation of maybe, say, 10 steps, and know that all of these meditations and all of the journaling prompts and all of the Hitbodedut that you'll ever do is all about increasing your awareness, and through this, your connection to the essence, to Hashem, then what that means is that I can take those 10 steps of meditation and I can just look through them very quickly and maybe under a minute and answer each one of these questions with a little bit more awareness, more knowing than I had a moment ago, a minute ago. And already I have tapped into the power of Hitbodedut. Because I have increased my da'at, I have expanded my awareness, my knowing, my clarity, and my connection. And so that's what we want. And so what you want to do is you want to ask yourself, what is my baby step version of this? And pay attention, because everyone knows how babies turn into infants and infants turn into children. And children continue growing and they become teenagers and then they become young adults and they keep on continue growing and maturing. And so if you are consistent with your baby step version, those baby steps will grow as you grow. They will make you grow. And as you grow more, they will mature more. And they will never stop growing. Like in a physical adult, person stops growing at a certain age, but in the spiritual realm, it's endless, it's infinite. And so that's what I want to leave you with today is the just ponder the possibilities of what taking that baby step version might mean for you. And maybe make it an intention to experience 6 hour Hitbodedut more often. In Live Immunotherapy, I highly emphasize the tremendous benefits of doing this for using the power of focus and repetition for a certain goal, for a certain prayer. We all know that when there's focus and there's repetition in one specific nekuda, in one specific place, then we can move mountains. And that's my blessing, and that's my wish for all of you today, to experience whatever mountain is in front of you right now, that biggest challenge, completely dissolve and melt away, so that you can experience the light at the end of the tunnel, just delight and pleasure and pleasantness and bracha in gashmut and ruchniut and achak kasher v'sameach. Wishing you all the best. Bracha v'aslacha.